Hi, my name is Emma Shields, and this is the second part to my week 12 assignment. Hi, Jillian. It's great to see you back this week.
Hi.
Thank you for coming in again. So I just wanted to go over how your week has been. How has it been looking?
It was kind of stressful. There was a couple of things that happened with my mom that were quite stressful. But like I said, with the weather being better, I've been able to go out in the backyard in the evenings. She has a baby monitor in her room, so I can hear if she's still sleeping. So that's been helpful. I think getting away from the TV and the evening routine has been helpful. So just breaking it up, even if I'm still on the premises with the
Mm-hmm.
TV off and getting outside, I think that's really helped.
Wow, that is wonderful that you've been able to do that this week. And getting out and getting that fresh air sounds like it's really helped
Hmm.
you to be able to clear your mind a little bit and alleviate some stress.
Hmm.
So that is wonderful. I just wanted to follow up as well with you. I know in our previous session we had discussed two people or identifying two people that you would feel comfortable reaching out to. Have you decided on those two people?
Yeah, I think I mentioned to you that I had a friend whose father recently passed away and he had dementia and she'd been caring for him at home. One of the things I wanted to follow up with you is she was starting to sell off things that she had brought into the home while she was caring for him. And one of the things was a wheelchair. So she actually
Okay.
gave me the wheelchair. So that's been, I haven't been out yet with it. I'm going to get
Mm-hmm.
my mom used to it in the house and then we can go out for walks around the neighborhood. So that, I think that'll be really good.
That's
Um,
wonderful.
and she knows exactly what I'm going through.
Mm-hmm.
So she has agreed to be the person who I can reach out to.
That
And
is
I told her about the drinking, and she completely understood. So she's more than willing to be part of those conversations.
that is wonderful that you were able to find somebody that you can really share in depth with and has that understanding.
Hmm.
And did how did you feel about that? Did you have that little bit of shame at first, or did
Yeah,
she?
I mean, I just felt like I did. And, I just had to, and I mean, she was very understanding. I mean, having been
Mm-hmm.
in the same boat, I think she can understand. The difference for her is that her husband and her daughters were able to help out with her dad's care,
I
so she
see.
got breaks, and she's understanding that like that wasn't my option. So,
Absolutely.
and with the family member, I decided to go with my brother only
Mm-hmm.
because I felt if it was my one sister and the other sister found out, then she'd be upset that I'd asked the other sister, blah, blah, blah. So I just decided to go with my brother.
I think that that's a phenomenal plan that you've created, and you've. It sounds like you've really given the insight into what the consequences would be of sharing with particular family members, which is so difficult to pick and choose. But I applaud you for figuring out who is the most trustworthy, um, and to have that sort of vulnerability to share with him what you're really going through. And after sharing with both, how do you feel? Is it kind of a little bit relieving? How? What are
I
your
think, well, my
thoughts?
friend, I think it was easier with my friend for sure
Mm-hmm.
because she has much more understanding. I think with my brother, I think he was probably feeling very guilty because he hasn't been available and hasn't helped out very much. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
lot due to COVID as well, obviously. Um, so I think that was a harder conversation.
Absolutely. It sounds like it would have been. That must have taken a lot of um, emotional strength to be able to have even after.
Well, it took a lot of wine.
Yeah.
That's what it
Oh,
took.
goodness.
It's true.
Yeah. That's. I can see how that would maybe trigger a little bit more abuse. Um, Speaking of which, I know that we had created a plan
Hmm.
last week where we would kind of try maybe taking one bottle down a week. How did that go this week?
Yeah, I think, as I was saying to you, getting outside was, I think breaking the pattern of getting away from the television has been helpful. So on the nights where it was nice and I was able to get out and just break the backyard a little bit, or take a book outside, um, I think that was very helpful. I was able to not open a bottle, so I was pretty proud of myself. I put a bow on it.
Oh, that's wonderful. And it sounds like you have a lot of insight into um, what sort of triggers you and what sort of aids you. And you're very insightful as to the why in situations, which is absolutely incredible that you have that type of intelligence to be able to say, well, you know what, this is working for me, and I think that this is why it's cut down. Which insight into your own self is going to aid you so much within your journey because you're going to be able to understand the whys of
Hmm.
why you're doing what you're doing. So that's great to hear. I'm glad that your week went relatively well. But it does sound like you did have some minor setbacks, which is going to happen, and that is
Hmm.
okay. Um, so I just wanted to also talk about the treatment plans that we had discussed last
Hmm.
last week as well. Um, Now, what did you have a certain treatment plan? I know that we went over the virtual.
Yeah, it's
That
gonna
was of
have to. It has to
interest.
be virtual.
Okay, and would you feel comfortable with doing group therapy?
Um,
Now, our group therapy, I'll explain a little bit more in depth before you make a committed decision to join. So, within our therapy groups, we follow more of a DBT breakdown. So,
I don't know what that means. Sorry.
DBT is dialect behavioral therapy. So essentially, what that is we're focusing on the emotions that are being felt um, and techniques in self soothing and being able to kind of tackle essentially all of those really, really hard life situations and all the emotions that arise during them. Um, and it's from the sounds of it, it sounds like frustration and feeling overwhelmed seems to be driving you to drink more than you typically
Yeah,
do.
it's just the exhaustion, and it's the loneliness because my mother is not, like, she's not a companion.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like taking care of a toddler. So, pardon me. That just makes it hard because it's not like we're having dinner and we're talking. I'm feeding her.
Yeah.
So,
Where you've kind of taken on the role of being a mother to your
pretty
own
much,
mother.
yeah.
That sounds very, very difficult. Um, so we do offer sort of a technique to kind of bring yourself and neutralize emotionally. So in those difficult times with your mom where you're feeling overwhelmed because you are caring for her so in depth, that you're able to kind of sit back for a moment and be able to grasp your emotions, and it kind of gives you that control back with them. So you're not feeling like you're out of control of everything that's going on around you.
Hmm.
And it'll help ground you a little bit as well. So we do have that available. I would have to know within the next week if you're committed to starting so that I can let the group leaders know that they're going to have a new client come in and join.
Well, I might as well give it a go. I mean, I've never been anything like that. So, um, and, I think if everyone's kind of in the same boat with, you know, it might be an interesting way to go about it.
I think that's a phenomenal idea. So I will definitely get you down for that. And I just wanted to close this little bit of a session with just saying that I am ecstatic that you have had the strength to come back in this week again. And I look forward to next week and working through more in depth the situation that you have at home um, and kind of working through some ways that we can relieve some of the stresses daily around your house. So thank you for coming back in.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right, you're welcome.